A bulk cargo ship ran itself aground intentionally after a major explosion caused it to be in danger of sinking. Other ships are now diverting from the area after reports are that the explosion was triggered by a sea mine. This is yet another crisis. We have police officers in such shortage in the United States that some departments across the United States are disbanding. The towns or cities are just getting rid of police departments entirely. It's absolutely nuts out there. Oil and grease products being in shortage. We're talking about automotive and commercial hardware type things. And we have a critical report coming from the U.S. border. Lots of updates coming from you guys from all over. Let's jump right into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade. And on this channel, we cover the reports that you guys are sending in, as well as keeping you up to date with some of the most critical news updates out there. We do want to thank our sponsor before we jump in, Genesis Gold Group. They do a fantastic job getting people out of stocks, bonds, and other risky things into gold, silver, and platinum coins, things that are solid. This is a great way to handle your retirement accounts. If you have some questions, there'll be a link at the end of the video. A Panamanian bulk cargo ship struck a naval mine in the Black Sea. Now, this is a big deal because exactly where this happened is going to make some big difference here. The ship was apparently headed towards Ukraine in order to load up on grain. They tried to reopen the sea lane and, well, one of the ships exploded, and that's not a good thing. Probably a Russian mine, but here's the problem. It appears that it was in Romanian waters when it was exploded. And that is a NATO member country. A NATO country being attacked by a sea mine is serious. Now, that mine could have come off of its mooring and it could start drifting. Normally, they're anchored down to the sea floor with an anchor, but then if the wire is cut, if the cable is cut, somehow it can start drifting and actually move around and go somewhere maybe it shouldn't go. Now, that could have intentionally been done, or that could have been accidentally done, or this could have happened just outside Romanian waters. We have yet to hear exactly what NATO has to say about that, but that could potentially be a very big issue that we may need to talk about in the future. We'll keep our eye on that one. A viewer has this to say. Here's one for you. Police officers in so short supply, the town of South Vienna, Ohio, is suspending the entire police department on January 1st. No cops in that town starting 2024. Now, South Vienna is not the first, nor will it be the last that takes this same step. Police officers are actually very difficult to find right now. Most training recruits are going to the big cities. A lot of the smaller townships and a lot of the smaller towns are having a really hard time trying to get police officers that are qualified and are competent. Right? This is, with all the diversity hires going on out there, this is a really big issue. And who in the right mind wants to be a police officer these days? With a lot of these cities out there, you are expected to show up and report on crimes that have taken place. Not prevent crimes, not solve crimes, but just report. You document. You show up and you document that this crime took place. And in a lot of the cases, they don't want you to even document it. A lot of the politics, all sorts of craziness going on out there. Who wants to be in that situation anymore? But what usually happens with this is that you have the county sheriff's department basically takes responsibility for that area. So there will be police coverage, just maybe not a local police station or police department that you're reporting to, but maybe more like the county. And that's probably what's going on there. This is from Fire. Food Lion in Landis, North Carolina, north of Charlotte. No eggs in stock except for a few higher-priced brands. Lots of holes in every category of shelves and other goods. We are seeing egg prices are going up, and we're starting to see spotty outages of eggs. We've said this is coming. We've been saying this for several months now. When we started seeing that surge in slaughterings, the cullings of egg-laying hens back in October. I said if this trend continues, we're going to have to start saying this is going to be a problem. And as it continued into November and as it's continued on to December, we are now seeing pretty serious shortages starting to develop. Expect egg prices to go up significantly, potentially double or even more, and expect shortages out there. This is from Ashley in Colorado. Car insurance went up 20%, even with 0 accidents. They stated it was the governor that's allowing them to do it. Makes me so angry on a fixed income. And what's this really getting to? Well, okay, yeah, the insurance companies are being jerks like they normally are. But what this has really come down to is, as I've been talking all this year, it's getting ridiculously expensive to fix your car. Nobody wants to fix your car, and the ones that are willing to fix your car are going to charge you a lot of money to do it. Parts are getting ridiculously expensive. Labor is getting ridiculously expensive. Friends, these insurance companies are going to have to fork out a lot of money to repair your car. And they're making you pay for that on the front end. I mean, this is one of those things where it's like, well, how can you afford not to have insurance? Well, the insurance company makes money off this deal. It's not like you're getting something out of this. All you're doing is you're just leveling off your risk, right? If you were to not get insurance and you were just to, pile up cash, a sufficient amount of cash in a pile, you would actually make out better on average than someone who actually pays into insurance over the course of their lifetime or whatever. You should, on average, actually do better. But the thing is, people don't get that. They're like, these insurance companies exist to take care of me and to make sure that I'm taken care of. No, they're not. Friends, don't think like that. This is from CP along similar lines. I'm in Michigan. My homeowner's insurance suddenly went up 40%. As if that was nothing, the agent said insurance premiums will skyrocket next year. Went up 40% this year, but next year is when it's going to get bad. That is difficult. Friends, please do not be afraid to shop around insurance companies, but realize that prices are going up a lot, and these insurance companies want to make a lot of money for their shareholders off you, and they also really don't want to pay out. And make sure first and foremost you're with an insurance provider that actually treats you well and actually will pay out. You can get really cheap rates sometimes, but the thing is, you got to be careful with the companies that you're doing business with, because if they can offer you these low rates because they just don't pay out ever, that doesn't do you any good. Beaver says, Southern Ohio, Dollar General, absolutely no milk at all. Now, Dollar General can be a little hit or miss, but that's, disconcerting to see in Ohio, no milk. This is a viewer from Netherlands, a Dutch viewer. Update from Netherlands here. There are no rockets or firecrackers anywhere here for a New Year celebration. Shelves are stocked with only confetti and smoked toy bombs. And that is concerning. We're hearing a bunch out there that fireworks are disappearing off the shelves, friends. So if you want to celebrate, there's that. If you want to do other things with those fireworks, apparently they don't want you to do anything with those fireworks except, let professionals do it all. Makes you wonder what they might be afraid you're going to do with them. Rhonda says, in a previous video, a viewer warned us about bugs being marketed towards children. I did a video about bugs in our food several months ago, but not sure about that. To sum it up, watch the following ingredients in your food. Acheta domesticus, which is cricket flour, locusta, migratia, whole and ground grasshoppers, Tenebrae molitor, which is ground mealworms, and then, just knowing the names for these things that they're using in the the ingredients list. Now, at this time, the U.S. is required to list any bugs that may be in the product, not on the packaging necessarily, but on the ingredients list. They do need to. But they're coming up with new names to hide these things, so you got to be careful what they're doing. But anything a cheetah, that's crickets, right? And that especially crickets can trigger shellfish allergies. Be aware of that. But other countries like the UK and Canada do not have a requirement for that. So be aware of where things are coming from. And if it's not labeled for sale in the United States, you may not see those that ingredients list. All right, another viewer here. Almost all the corn grown in Kentucky is contracted to go to distilleries. A couple of years ago, I took a tour of the Buffalo Trace Distillery, and they disclosed this information. Buffalo Trace Distillery was also the only distillery that wasn't closed during the Prohibition, because they were able to market themselves for government contracts. Of course, people who ally themselves with the government always seem to be exempt from all these rules, don't they? And also they were able to market their bourbon as for medical use. Yeah, I got some medical use, whatever you want to ban, right? Nantan says, Florida Panhandle. Not food this time, but oil and grease products at Walmart. The shelves in the automotive section at my nearest Walmart are nearly devoid of oil and grease products. Nearly all bare shelves along that short aisle. I have enough oil and grease for my tractor and truck, but I do need to be stocked up. But while I was looking for silicone grease for a sliding glass door, I witnessed two people frustrated by the lack of oil they required. No, I did get my door roller grease at Walmart. I did not. They missed a knot in there because they were out. I had to go to Advanced Auto. So oil and grease, now that sounds like that's not a big deal. If you have machinery, if you have equipment, if you're trying to do something with, you need lubricants like that for sure. Oil, if you think you can get along without putting oil in your car or vehicle or changing it, please, friend, rethink that one, because you're going to lose a lot of money over the long haul by not doing that. So this is from Denise as well. I just saw that truck drivers are refusing to drive in Colorado until Donald Trump's name gets placed back on the ballot. I don't know if that's going to actually turn out to be a thing, but we're all definitely watching what's going on over there. If you haven't heard about that, there's a court ruling that Donald Trump committed insurrection, so therefore his name should be off the ballot. And several states, red states, are starting to talk about slapping back at that by taking other people's names off ballots and stuff like that. It is very, very concerning, and I'm not getting hyped up about it right now, because I strongly believe, and I think a lot of other people on both sides of the aisle strongly believe, that the Supreme Court's going to step in here and null and void that one out, because that's just insane. But definitely big concern there if it stands. I don't see how in the world that could stand, because if it does stand, then everything changes. Like, everything will change overnight if that stands. And so we're watching that. Be keeping abreast of that, and we will let you know any updates we hear about that. This is from M. Gave fire blankets to all my family members this Christmas. As I recommended that if you have any concern about grid down situations, fire extinguishers may not be able to be recharged, but fire blankets can be reused again and again to put out fires. It's a big deal. Also, they're just a really good tool that doesn't make a huge mess of your apartment and everything like that, right? I gave fire blankets to my family members this Christmas. Also, my parents recently crossed into Mexico from a Texas border town for humanitarian work. Upon their return trip across the bridge, they encountered hordes of people camped on the Mexican side of the bridge. My dad said these people dressed nice, had nice luggage. blow up mattresses and weren't begging for money. He asked the Border Patrol guard who was guarding the middle of the bridge, and he said they were all Russian. Aren't we supposed to be concerned about those people, right? I mean, we were literally like confiscating Russians' assets, like private citizens. We were just taking their stuff because all Russian citizens are absolutely a danger to the entire world. And yet, here they are on the southern border, and no one's doing anything. He said every once in a while, he gets word from his command building to let a couple more across, and they are questioned. Most are wealthy and have sold businesses and want to come to America. They all claim asylum, and under the current administration, they are released into the country immediately because they have nowhere to house them. He sounded disgusted, the Border Patrol agent, my dad said. My dad sent me pictures. It's insane, and he has seen this. He hasn't seen this before at this bridge and has been crossing there for years. It's really bad out there. When the Border Patrol agents are absolutely disgusted and cannot believe the system, and we're letting all sorts of people from all sorts of countries that we were told we're supposed to be super concerned about. If 99 of these, out of 100 of these people are absolutely genuine and everything, and one is a KGB spy bent on sabotage within the United States, isn't that a really big problem? That's the question. We have thousands and tens of thousands and millions over the course of time of Asians coming to the United States, Indians, Iranians, people from the Middle East, as well as China. Who are these people, and should we be concerned about them? Should we be keeping tabs on them? Should we make sure that they're not, like, taking down our infrastructure? I mean, like I said, most of these people are great people, probably. But what about the others? What about the others? Who are they? Why are they here? We're not asking these questions, and we are just open to attack. Hezbollah has people here. Hamas has people here. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard has said explicitly that they have agents within the United States. And if they were paying any attention whatsoever, they know that they can get as many agents across the border into the United States as they want right now. That should be concerning to all of us, friends. Please do keep your reports coming in. If you have something to share, please just make a comment on one of the videos on this channel. Use the word update somewhere in there and let us know what you're seeing, what you're hearing, and we'll keep you guys abreast of what's going on as we go forward. If you want to get some more information about Genesis Gold Group, about your retirement account, there's a link right here. There's another video from the channel right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.